ball promoting it. You know, it's just doesn't bother me.
There's compromising the sport, and that's like bad.
I am seeing reports online that Jake Paul might be fighting Francis Ngannou, which is just absolutely bloody ridiculous.
Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis, the fight is in jeopardy, and it's for a reason that I think you all could believe, but maybe can't believe is happening again.
Joe Rogan reacted with shock to reports that the Netflix-streamed Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Tank Davis exhibition might not happen as planned. What was expected to be another huge boxing event has now turned into a mix of legal problems and heated online discussions.
If you know the situation, it was supposed to be boxing Gervonta Tank Davis, a man that weighs 133 pounds or 135. Regardless, it's a man that is way smaller than Jake Paul. So that is just ridiculous, and I've given my thoughts on that before anyway. But now it turns out that Gervonta Davis has some allegations about domestic abuse. I don't know too much about the situation, but apparently Netflix have pulled the...
Reports claim Gervonta Davis is facing new legal trouble. A civil lawsuit filed by a former partner with serious accusations. This issue now puts his much-anticipated November exhibition with Jake Paul in doubt. Several news outlets point to the lawsuit, possible arrest, and new allegations that appeared in late October.
Idiot, and I don't know nothing. And don't take my advice.
I love the Saudis.
Don't take my opinion.
I love the Israeli government. I love
that
everybody.
Had nothing to do with them. That was Jake Paul promoting it. You know, it's just doesn't bother me.
There's compromising the sport, and that's like bad. It's just like
if I bet on it,
watching it is hard. Watching it with people who are so in on it, and then also man, the sports betting apps, they introduced like chat apps in them in Australia, so it's like they're trying to take the place of social media companies where you go together and you meet your friends. Like betting should be exciting enough without having a weird
They're just trying to draw you in.
thing.
They're just trying to make money, right? So they're trying to...
Davis's long history of legal issues is once again under the spotlight. Earlier this year, he was arrested in South Florida on a misdemeanor battery charge. That case drew major attention, just like his previous incidents that ended with dropped charges or plea deals. These past problems make the new case feel more serious to fans and promoters alike.
I've seen reports online that Jake Paul might be fighting Francis Ngannou, which is just absolutely bloody...
At the same time, Dame Margaret posted on X saying the fight might be delayed, writing, "Update. I'm hearing it's postponed. Not sure of the new date, but I'm about 80% sure the November 14th event is cancelled." This hints that organizers may move the fight to a later date for better planning and promotion. Despite heavy marketing through ads, interviews, and social media, ticket sales remain low. Reports say fans aren't showing much interest, raising doubts that the event could be postponed or even cancelled.
It was fire. And when his fight first got announced, I told y'all, the promo, when they start promoting it, it is going to be fire. The promo will be better than the fight, right? Because obviously, I don't like the fight. I'm not a fan of the fight. I cannot stand the decision for Tank to go in this direction, although I understand it, right? I understand it because I understand the business behind it. So I get all of that. But the promo is fire. If you go watch it, the way that is shot, the production of it looks very top of the line, top shelf, as you would expect from a company as big as Netflix, which is a $530 billion company. So they have the budget, they have the money to make sure their production is A1. Obviously, as a Tank Davis fan, paying attention to him in the promo, the young man looks in good spirits. He looks like he's in a good headspace, and he doesn't look like he's unhappy to be there, which bodes well for the prospects of him continuing his boxing career, I guess, not retiring. And I think that as he gets closer to the fight, as the fight happens, he'll be in his happy place. And I expect for Tank fans, for boxing fans, to get really good news after Tank Davis and Jake Paul share the ring and they do the post-fight press conference. I think that a lot of people will probably be happy with the outcome of what Tank Davis has to say after that fight. But the promo is fire. It's just a trailer. It's up on the Netflix YouTube channel. Go check it out if you haven't already. Really enjoyed watching that promo. Watched it a couple of times. And as I said, I'm paying attention to the press conferences. I'm paying attention to the build-up because I feel like there's a chance that could be more entertaining than the actual fight. Although
the planned Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight has caused confusion among fans and boxing experts. Many wonder why Jake Paul chose to face Gervonta when the matchup offers little benefit. The fight feels unnecessary and has failed to create real hype. Ticket sales are slow, and online reactions call it meaningless. Critics say the bout adds nothing new, which explains the weak buzz. Jake Paul, known for bold promotions and exciting matchups, seems to have misjudged this one. Unlike his earlier fights, this event feels off and directionless. Observers believe Jake's usual formula for attention might finally be losing impact, as this fight looks more like a publicity move than true competition.
Pack it up. It's over with. Because the fight makes no sense. It doesn't even make sense for Jake. For all the things Jake's talking about doing, it makes no sense for him. Again, money, sure. If it makes dollars make sense, okay, fine. But I want to see Jake in competitive matchups where I am interested in the outcome. I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in the outcome of this. I was interested in Floyd versus Logan because there was an idea that Floyd was a little slower, a little older, and Logan would be able to knock him out. If Jake knocks Tank out, so what? What does that do for him? Because he said he could beat Canelo. He said he could beat Anthony Joshua. This one to me, like, I've gotten on board with a lot of Jake fights because they've made sense, right? To me, they've made sense. Even Julio Cesar Chavez, after he's already beaten the guy that beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he beat Anderson Silva couple of years back now. This one still kind of makes sense because you're getting maybe a better version of Chavez, and he's around the same weight now. When you talk about the Tank fight, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But let's take a look at what he said to Ariel Helwani and see how he explains this fight.
Was the next one Tank?
Yeah, I mean, that was on the 1 yard line as well, but he has to rematch, Lamont Roach. He wants to get that back, and then we'll be back in discussions with Mr. Gervonta. But man, this is the nature of boxing. You have massive fights on the 1 yard line and things just fall through.
Again, I just don't know why would this be where you go? Like the Mike Tyson thing I could kind of understand because it's Mike and it's an exhibition and he's retired. Tank still being in the competitive nature of the sport throws this one completely off for me. And the fact that Jake is like 60 pounds bigger than he is. Right? Like, Mike was obviously far older than Jake, and that was the big knock on that fight. Mike should not have been in there with Jake. Said that many times. Jake has fought so hard against people saying he's bad for the sport. He's bad for the sport. He doesn't actually want to fight or step up or do any of this stuff. And I've kind of had his back when I'm like, no, he is doing what most boxers have done early in their career. But this gives those people more ammo to be like, yeah, bro, look, this is what we're talking about. When we say he's bad for the sport, or when we say that he's doing stuff that doesn't make sense and he's making a mockery of things, this is what they're talking about. And again, I wouldn't have any problem with it if Tank was way past the point where he could fight competitively at his weight class and have fights with guys like Shakur Stevens, or even, again, rematching guys.
Fans have also questioned the fight's rules. It's confirmed as an exhibition at a 195-pound limit with both fighters using 12-ounce gloves. These terms make the bout seem more like entertainment than a real contest. Many believe it's a marketing show aimed at casual viewers rather than true boxing fans. Because of the size difference between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, analysts think the rules were adjusted for safety, but the fight still doesn't seem fair or meaningful.
Versus Tank Davis press conference just went down, and the official rules for the fight have also been announced. So the fight will take place at 195 pounds, so 60 pounds higher than Tank normally fights at lightweight, and lower than what Jake has been fighting at cruiserweight and heavyweight. The fight will also be 10 rounds and 3-minute rounds each. So exhibitions are usually 2-minute rounds, but this will be 3-minute rounds like a pro fight. And 10 rounds is almost as long as a championship fight. They'll have 12-ounce gloves, so 2 ounces larger than usual. And there'll be 3 judges ringside to decide a winner. So unlike normal exhibitions where there is no winner, if this fight does go to decision, they will have scorecards to decide who wins. Now in the press conference, Tank was asked why he's taking this fight and not the Lamont Roach rematch. And he said he's doing what's best for him and his family. The media always switch up on him after one fight, and this is what he wants to do. He also said that Jake is a decent fighter, but taller fighters struggle with shorter fighters. And he's going to frustrate Jake, and after a couple of rounds, everyone knows what's going to happen. Now Jake, he promised to knock Tank out. He said that Tank has holes in his defense, gets frustrated, and we saw what a 135-pound Roach did to him, so he's gonna knock him out. Jake also said that he still wants Canelo even though he lost to Crawford. And he said after he gets through Tank, Canelo's gonna be on his list. And then we had the face-off with a noticeable size difference, but that was the first press conference. And I'm glad there's gonna be a winner, because I do think they'll...
Gervonta Davis's fan base appears divided. Some fans are disappointed he agreed to this kind of fight, expecting him to focus on real contenders in his division instead of money fights. However, Davis has said he doesn't care about outside opinions anymore. Leonard Ellaby, one of his close associates, revealed that Davis wasn't mentally ready to fight Lamont Roach earlier. That statement gives context, suggesting that this exhibition with Jake Paul might be a lighter, more profitable option for Davis to recover after months of personal and professional stress.
Ellaby said, to tell you the truth, Gervonta Davis couldn't get up for Lamont Roach. And what does that mean? It means that he could not get inspired, that he was not motivated to fight Lamont Roach, that his mind was not in a place where it was like, yeah, okay, let's get it, and he was going to war with Lamont Roach. He was going through the motions with Lamont Roach during the training camp and could never really get himself motivated to really give the best of himself against Lamont Roach, and that probably affected him during training and during the fight. And that is something that can happen, especially if you really look back on what happened with the Lamont Roach fight and all of the ups and downs about that fight being made. Because first, if you recall, he wasn't supposed to be fighting Lamont Roach. The person he was supposed to be fighting was Vasily Lomachenko. You know, the guy that everybody says that he doesn't want to fight, that he didn't want to fight. Gervonta Davis was up and prepared to fight Vasily Lomachenko. So it shouldn't surprise anybody that if he tries to make a fight with Vasily Lomachenko, that fight doesn't go through. Then he tries to make a fight with Lamont Roach. He can't get the fight done for Houston with Lamont Roach because there was all kind of venue problems and drama going on around Gervonta getting a venue in Houston. So they wind up eventually moving the fight to New York City and pushing it back even further. So not only is it a fight where he didn't just jump out of from his last fight that he had and jump into a fight with Lamont Roach, he got held up. And then also during that period of time, he had to spend some time in jail for a parole violation after them. Well, I believe that
money seems to be the main reason behind this matchup. Many believe Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis are doing it for financial gain rather than competition. This criticism is heavier on Davis, who has often said his goal was to change his life through boxing, not collect endless titles. He's been open about wanting to secure his future and support his family, which makes his business choices understandable but also controversial. Analysts say Davis now prefers big pay fights over real challenges. The Jake Paul fight fits that pattern. More about exposure, buzz, and guaranteed income than legacy. While it's a smart financial move, it doesn't help his image among serious boxing fans.
And while he's fighting YouTube sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul, who has 12 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 7 wins by way of knockout, opposed to fighting against the likes of his peers who are well accomplished and superstars in their own right for legacy fights like Shakur Stevenson, like Teofimo Lopez, like Devin Haney. Why he's not interested in those fights. And he gets real, right? He gets real, and only thing we could do is salute it, right? Because he's saying, I never told y'all I wanted to be a world champion. I never told y'all I wanted to be undisputed. I got into this for myself and my circumstances to escape from my circumstances. And that's real. We can't blame him for that. We hold him in high regard because the statements he's made and misled people when he said he got a hit list that he wants to check off before he retires. And that hit list includes Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Lomachenko, who turned down the fight because of a severe back injury. And then he told the world, he told Champside, it would be great for him to become undisputed. So I think that he had a change of heart at some point in time along the way.
Jake Paul's motivation seems similar. Since the beginning, He's used boxing to build his brand and prove he's more than just a YouTuber. But choosing a smaller, more skilled fighter like Davis has raised questions. A win would do little for his credibility because of his size advantage, while a loss could damage his image as a fearless fighter. Many believe this fight carries more risk than reward for Jake Paul.
How Tank started acting after he made 40 million with Ryan. When he make another 40 plus million with Jake,
he's gonna go make 40 million fighting Jake Paul, and then he's gonna come back and fight Lamont Roach for what? He's gonna come back and fight Shakur Stevenson for what? He's not gonna fight none of those guys.
No, the only way he fight any of them guys, Turkey gonna have to hit him with the Crawford money. Cause that's the thing, you do this for a reason, bro. Like, I get it, you want him to be competitive, but his goal is money. He made 40 with Ryan plus everything in between. Now he get this 40, 50 million plus. He don't even gotta fight no more. So now if you want him to fight Shakur, give me that.
The talk around this matchup reflects a bigger issue in modern boxing: the focus on spectacle over substance. Fans and analysts point out how the sport is now filled with matchups made for views, not legacy. Exhibition bouts, influencer fights, and crossover events have become common. The planned Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis event is seen as another example of money and hype being valued over real competition. These fights grab attention but rarely gain lasting respect from true boxing followers.
News: Jake Paul will be taking on Tank Davis in an exhibition on November 15th in Atlanta, Georgia, live on Netflix. And this is crazy for multiple reasons. One, they have a huge size difference. Tank Davis, he's a lightweight, normally fights at 135 pounds. And Jake Paul, he's a cruiserweight, usually fights at 200 pounds. So there's a good 60 to 65 pound difference here. It could also mean that Tank Davis is no longer interested in competing for titles anymore and is cashing out of boxing. You know, there's been a lot of talks that Tank is nearing retirement this year, and he was supposed to rematch Lamont Roach after their first fight went to a draw. But instead of chasing the Roach rematch, instead he takes the Jake Paul fight for money. So maybe this is Tank's last, or one of his last fights. And same for Jake Paul. He just got ranked number 14 at cruiserweight after beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So he's supposed to be fighting other ranked contenders or top guys at cruiserweight. But instead, he's taking a money fight. But I do expect these two to go after each other. Even though it is an exhibition, I don't think it'll just be some boring sparring match. I do think they'll try a decent amount. But Tank, obviously, is a lot more skilled. Jake, he has a lot more size. But you guys let me know who you...
Former champion Carl Froch recently shared his view, saying Jake Paul's boxing career looks more about money than real growth. Froch believes Jake cares more about viral moments and paydays than improving his skills. His comments reflect what many traditional fighters think, that boxing is turning into show business instead of serious sport. His opinion adds to the growing debate about the sport's direction as influencers step into the ring with professionals. The Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight is one of the most talked about yet least respected events, combining fame and spectacle but lacking real depth. Whether it happens or not, it highlights boxing's ongoing struggle between sport and entertainment.
Mentioned me before, and there'll be people out there saying, oh, Carl Froch's talking about himself, he's after a payday. Listen, I'm not after a payday. I'm doing all right. There's no problems with my finances, but I'll take the fucking payday, of course I will, and I'll end Jake Paul with one punch. I'd go in there one-armed and beat this guy. He can't box. He's absolutely fucking useless, which we saw last night with Mike Tyson. Talking about Canelo Alvarez. I've not mentioned Canelo Alvarez because it's just laughable. Jake Paul, Canelo Alvarez, can you imagine? I mean, Jake Paul fancies that and he jumps in the ring with him. I will pay homage to him because fair play, if he jumps in there with Canelo Alvarez, he'll get absolutely fucking destroyed and it will be fast and it will be messy. And
that's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and don't forget to subscribe to The King Boxing for the latest boxing news and fight breakdowns.